Story 1. Cute, petite, intelligent, great hair, smartest student at college, married to her for 50 years in 2028. Story 2. Integrity as a behavioral norm, helping others willingly, being able to apologize and admit fault without being asked. Story 3. Dark hair, light eyes, and glasses. Ended up marrying a girl with dark hair, light eyes, and glasses. Story 4. There is something strangely attractive about the no-nonsense competence of a middle-aged woman. I have a divorced colleague who could do anything from planning a battle to cooking a 3-course meal to soothing someone's hurt feelings without losing a step. She also knows how to wear a pair of boots. No clue why she is single. If I were not happily married, I would love to take her dancing. Story 5. Considerate gestures, mainly the thought of you, so I got you this vibe. My boyfriend just brought me flowers. My first thought was to appreciate him. Story 6. Personality is when someone is honest and natural. They do not feel the need to pretend to be something they are not. The best way to describe this kind of person is that others may see them as normal or even boring, but in reality, they are not. Story 7. A man who is stylish in whatever style he likes and takes pleasure in his appearance. A good cologne. Protective but not controlling. Vulnerability and honesty. If you are nervous, say so. Someone who enjoys their hobbies unashamedly, includes you in them, and is patient in helping you learn. Someone who always has your back. Good eye contact and attention when you are focused on each other. Story 8. Intelligence. I love it when a man passionately talks for hours about a very complex subject he learned or is working on, like technology, physics, or any science-related topic. Story 9. Someone who is self-aware enough to own their desires, curious enough to keep evolving, and calm enough to sit in silence without making it awkward. Real connection starts there, at least for me. Story 10. Perfectly shaped lips, arms, abs, hands, the perfume they wear, their neck chains and rings, basically how they dress up, and their hair. There are so many such things related to aesthetic beauty. Story 11. Guys who wear hats, especially backwards, can increase their sex appeal significantly just by wearing a hat. I wish my husband would take notes on this. Story 12. Intelligence. Emotional stability. A functional and alert mind. Awake senses. Good manners and class. Physically fit. No vices. Story 13. When they remember things you like or say and note them down. Physically, collarbones, I don't know why. Story 14. Acute lower midriff, specifically the space below the navel and above the mons pubis. I do not know why, but that zone is very attractive to me. Story 15. I find that if someone takes care of themselves in general, it is extremely attractive. Balding? Shave it off and rock it. Do not do the comb over. Clothes do not fit right? Get them tailored. Wash your clothes regularly. Clean, cut, and shape your nails. Get moderate exercise. You do not have to be a bodybuilder. Shower and put on deodorant immediately afterward. Being stinky is a major turnoff. Floss and brush your teeth. Just take care of yourself in general, because even if you are not conventionally attractive, if you take care of yourself, you become more attractive to many people. Story 16. A girl just being herself and not trying to appear perfect. I am sorry, but if you have to try so hard, it tells me you are insecure and probably not the most genuine person. Girls put too much effort into their looks. Sure, fix your hair and pick a nice outfit, but do not stress too much. Trying too hard is not a good look in my opinion. Story 17. Confidence, effort, and enthusiasm. You can be very attractive, but without those 3 things, you can still be boring and uninteresting. Story 18. Intelligence, self-awareness, empathy, confidence, and the ability to name all 32 National Hockey League teams in alphabetical order instantly. Story 19. Okay, let's start. 1. Fathers with their children or brothers with their younger siblings. Black t-shirts, stylish glasses, fragrance for both females and males, interesting necklaces such as those with trees or other designs, especially on men because they can keep them on when they are with you. Baggy bags with designs from different fandoms. Arms crossed on the chest. Brown eyes. Big and curved noses, both female and male. 10. Cars. 11. Dark lipstick. 12. Sport bikes. 13. Messy books. 14. Black tights. 15. Lumberjack shirts on men because somehow they have a calming effect. Story 20. Bare male torsos of all types. As a gay child, I couldn't quite believe everyone being so nonchalant when a shirtless man was around and that male toplessness is legal. But I am very glad. I have to work hard to stay focused on the road ahead when there is a shirtless man running or walking along the road. Yes, I have picked up a hitchhiker mainly because he was shirtless. I would not do that now. Do I go about shirtless? No, due to shyness and assuming I am not fit enough. But I do like it intensely when others do this. Feels like a gift. Story 21. Calluses on fingers. I just love that rough feeling of a blue-collar man's hands on me. I don't want him if his hands are soft. Story 22. I have a preference for well-defined arms in a man. By well-defined, I do not mean heavily muscled, ripped, or bulky, but athletic and strong. Naturally, I am very fond of sleeveless shirts. This combination is extremely attractive to me in a man. Story 23. A burrito with white rice, black beans, fajita, steak and chicken, sour cream, extra cheese, and salsa. Nothing is more appealing than seeing it wrapped in its nice, hot, and spicy tortilla wrap. Knowing it is going straight into my mouth. Yum. It is so hot and delicious. Story 24. Physically, I find blue or green eyes with thick eyelashes extremely attractive. I also love midriff and booty in both genders. Beyond physical appearance, I find respect and consideration extremely attractive. Story 25. Intelligent men with humility, kindness, a good sense of humor, blue eyes, and dark hair. They always seem to be the type I end up dating, and I keep getting attracted to them. I do not know why, to be honest. I blame the Hannibal television show. Will Graham. Story 26. A man's big hands, broad and strong shoulders. A happy smile that causes smile lines to form on his face. Story 27. For some odd reason, men who wear their baseball caps backward with the bill in back can look unremarkable when wearing it traditionally as it is supposed to be worn. However, when they flip it around, I immediately take notice. Story 28. Voices. I appreciate a good voice, especially online or on the phone. There are specific tones I like, but I am unsure how to convey what they are. Definitely on the deeper and slower side. When I hear it, it exudes calm, decisive confidence. This is probably because it balances out my scattered, indecisive mind. A sly smile, mischievous, and playfully teasing or poking. Story 29. People who are studious and worry about their future are appealing to me. I appreciate someone who cares about important matters and is responsible. Physically, I love wild hair, but not excessively. I really admire how they take care of their hair. Story 30. A woman who is naturally happy and smiles a lot. Very attractive. Personality is everything. I do not get along with stuck-up people or those who are constantly negative. Story 31. Large, well-toned gluteal muscles. Aside from being aesthetically pleasing, they show a willingness to put in work on self-care. Story 32. This will probably sound incredibly sad, but when someone is genuinely interested in what I have to say, I am definitely a quieter person. I am not shy, but I lack the ability to talk about something unless it truly interests me, and those things are rare. I also have trouble finding the right words. If someone truly listens and asks questions when I share an interest with them, it instantly adds points. Story 33. From a heterosexual woman. Men who know and take the time to learn about women's bodies, such as terms for anatomy, how women's sexuality works, how women are affected by their hormones, and who do not flinch around discussions of women's health topics like periods, menstruation, tampons, birth control, breastfeeding, pregnancy, giving birth, and menopause are very attractive to me. I am curious if others agree. Story 34. A calm, handsome Latino man with nice hair who is affectionate, loyal, caring, and has good hygiene. Story 35. Loyalty, honesty, sincerity. My current girlfriend has that. She blocked her ex before pursuing things with me. She always tells me what she is feeling. She is honest with me about her thoughts towards me, even if it is difficult to hear at times. She does not share anything about me with anyone, not even her best friend. It does not get much better than that, in my opinion. It makes me want to be intimate with her, not just physically but mentally and emotionally as well. Story 36. Chelsea cuts and dark makeup. Scars sometimes, yes, I know it sounds strange, but they tell more of a story than tattoos most of the time. Story 37. Someone who can hold their own in a witty discussion of big ideas or story depth, while cracking well-timed or just the right kind of inappropriate jokes. Intelligent banter, basically. That, and plenty of comfortable cuddle spots. Being a good person. No casual cruelty, not trying to harm themselves or others. Story 38. Following through on commitments and effective planning are two qualities that seem very rare these days, and I want to see them return. Story 39. Not perfect teeth. Like clean teeth, yes, but slightly unique alignment is awesome. Braces are difficult, but I understand the need for health reasons. Story 40. Men who are financial independents, retire early and do not have an ego. Literally the hottest. Also, not muscular, nerdy, or awkward men, alternative men. Story 41. Physical dexterity and coordination. When my husband does something physically difficult and makes it look easy. Story 42. Besides intelligence, sense of humor, and fitness, a man who is graceful, lithe, and moves with ease and elegance is very attractive. He also knows how to work physically, such as chopping wood, fixing things, and building. Top tier, in my opinion. Story 43. Intention. A man who is intentional in his pursuit of a woman is a gift straight from God when he is doing it right. Story 44. Kindness. A man who reads, quiet men who can be silly in private. A guy who has a nerdy hobby, athletic. Story 45. Well-groomed rough hands. Also, I like how some people naturally smell without dousing themselves in cologne. Everyone has a distinct scent, and some are quite pleasant. I am not running around sniffing people. Story 46. I feel like I am the only one who is particularly attracted to arms on a woman. Not necessarily muscles, but shapely, curvy, maybe a little toned, with a good complexion. Accentuate those upper arms with a sleeveless top or dress, and you have me. Story 47. A magnet. It's very attractive. If only I could be a magnet and find a beautiful woman willing to be the iron in my life that gets attracted to me. This is the way. Jokes aside, I find a woman who is a thinker, has a lot to say about deep topics, and I can sit there and see her mind go to work very attractive. If you can sustain me mentally by having a brain that actually works, and you understand emotions on an emotionally intelligent level, marry me. It's that simple. In fact, I'll carry the baby. I know women wish men could do that. But yeah, an intelligent mind goes a long way for me. Then someone who takes care of their body on top of that I really enjoy because it's one less stress I have to worry about. Crazy self-esteem issues. I've not been picky about size in the past, but I am at a point now where it does matter. I am an active man. Hiking, fishing, parkour, skating, dancing, rock climbing, adult activities at home. You name it. Being with someone bigger who constantly complains about being fat and uses that as an excuse not to spend time together. Just wanting to be at home all the time but still complaining about being fat, that's a turnoff. I'm over it. I want someone who is smart and will keep me busy. And me being able to lift you up and carry you, that's always a plus for me. Staying healthy is a power move. It's smart. I'm 36, over here in Denver, Colorado, and my younger early 20s guy friends can't even keep up with me. Some of them tell me weird stuff like they have to use Blue Chew and such with their women, which means they aren't healthy, eating too much junk, producing too much cortisol, and their body can't absorb testosterone. That is why there are so many feminine men nowadays. I'm very masculine, treat women right, and teach men to do the same, and it will remain that way. I'm sapiosexual and proud of it. Show me how your mind works, and I'll show you the difference between a boy and a man who has integrity and actual emotional intelligence. Story 48. Being passionate about a subject. The interest in their voice and the look in their eyes is so endearing. It is like a dog showing you a bone it found. Story 49, intelligence, especially in something mechanical. 2 comments in a row about my crush on my coworker, but he was talking to me earlier about how to fix something on my motorcycle, and I was just so full of butterflies. Watching someone talk about something they have deep knowledge of is such a turn on. Tell me more, little mechanical nerd. Story 50, lower stomach, primordial pouch to hip. I do not know why, but it just makes me feral every time I touch that part of my wife, more so than her breasts or buttocks. Story 51. A man who smells good makes me turn my head to see who is smiling so pleasantly. Your face better match the smell. Story 52. I have only ever dated women with blue or green eyes who are taller than 5 feet 7 inches. I color even factors into my adult content selection. Story 53. Integrity, do what you say you are going to do. It is not that hard to understand. Smell nice. Be confident but quiet about it. Steadfastness. Loyalty. Stoicism to a certain extent. Think before you speak, even if it takes a little while. Messy hair and big hands are my undoing. Story 54. I see mostly women commenting, but as a man, a woman who is down to earth and beautiful. That might sound exaggerated, but many more women are beautiful than they think they are. Not every man has the same taste. Some like slim, some like fuller figures, no one likes fat though. Some like brunettes, some like blondes. Tastes are just different. Girls, if you find a guy attractive, shoot your shot. You would have a much higher success rate than you think. By down to earth, I mean she is not woke, not into LGBTQ ideology, and not like a modern feminist. One who knows how to handle things, the one who will laughingly tie my tie when I'm late for work, and has no problem with sports. One who knows her way around things like cooking and such, but still doesn't go by the, I'm an independent woman and I don't need a man attitude. Be the girl, the woman in the relationship. I will be the man. That is how it should be, not oppression by any means, just roles. I am not going to give birth to children, and she's not going to fight off intruders with weapons. We both know our place in the family. Story 55. On the first date or first few dates when you are learning about each other but are not ready to share every little detail, if she can answer my questions truthfully and substantively without making me feel like she is lying through omission, that is a huge green flag. It exudes class and shows that she respects me. Story 56. Backwards ball cap. Sleeves rolled up. Especially if he is fixing, cleaning, or cooking. Immediate weak knees. Story 57. Society has weaponized this term, but well-read people will understand what I mean. Sluttiness is just something about a woman freely expressing and embracing her sexuality. I have so much respect and admiration for it. It is an instant turn-on, too. I just wish society would stop being judgmental and embrace uniqueness. Story 58. Intelligence comprises many aspects such as communication skills, code of conduct, presentation, body language, and confidence. Person must be smart, obviously. Story 59. I am really attracted to someone who is emotionally present and shows they care. Someone who actually misses me when I am not around and is not afraid to show it. I am not into the whole nonchalant vibe. Story 60. Can you get me off of Reddit broadcast? Please pass this message along. I do not care if you are not asking me. Get out. Thank you. I said please. Story 61. Someone who pays attention so much that they know when to take care of things for you when you are overwhelmed or in need. Story 62. Eyebrows. On an otherwise pleasant face, a nice pair of eyebrows is nice. Not a particular type or anything. Story 63. When it comes to physical appearance, I tend to find guys with big hazel or brown eyes really attractive, along with a more square face and thick hair. I also find it very attractive when a guy respects women. Additionally, I appreciate when a guy is good at fixing things and good at cooking. Story 64. Certain accents, Northeast England, Irish, French, Eastern European, Scottish, and some American, especially Deep South drawl, make women sound very attractive. Story 65. When a man is not afraid to change his child's dirty diaper, especially when it has gone all the way up the back of the onesie. Story 66. Gosh, a good haircut can do wonders. I find it so attractive. I often see men and think to myself, wow, if he had this haircut, it would suit him even better. I know it sounds weird, but it really makes me want to run my hands through their hair. Not in a weird way. Men, please talk to your hairdresser about what hairstyle would suit your face shape and complement your facial features. My personal favorite is the modern mullet, but that style won't complement everyone. There are many cool hairstyles out there, and it's a great confidence boost as well. Story 67. Kindness to children even though I do not want children. Politeness, someone who laughs, is silly and enthusiastic, but also calm and not over the top. Hands, noses. Story 68. When men can be themselves. The man I have been attracted to the most is someone who is unapologetically himself, and I love that about him. I would not change him for the world. Story 69. Teeth, arms. Remembering small things about me, taking the lead, knowing random facts, being a basic human, emotionally intelligent. Hair, I do not even care if you have a buzz cut if your hair is soft, win. Story 70. Neck, especially if they are tall and muscular with defined face cheeks, and also touchy and clingy, especially with a deep voice. Story 71. Sharing my interests, seeing me for who I am and acknowledging me. Common humor, being kind to me, spending time with me, being a nerd. Story 72. Some people have a prominent line on their skull going straight from the outer sides of their eyebrows toward the back, above their temples. It gives me good chills. Story 73. Women can have beautiful hands. I was once served in a bakery by a young Polish woman who had hands like the Virgin Mary. Hauntingly beautiful. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.